until they get to the floor, and that's what the little sentence is on the desk. What are you voting on? Oh, to express our sympathies for the people of Haiti. But if you read the bill, you find out that it was an endless commitment of militarism and occupation and no limitation on funds to stay there as far as anybody's concerned forever. So the vote was going on, and it was like 430 to 3. And I thought, well, see, tripled our vote. But I was wrong. It didn't work. People started looking at it, and probably people running over and saying, do you know what you're doing? You know, so then it was 430 to 2. Then all of a sudden, you know, you can remove it, you change your vote at the last minute. Then it turned out 432 to 1. And I was sitting with close friends who understand a little bit about this, but they also understand from their viewpoint, this is too risky for them to deal with, you know, standing on principle on this. And they looked over and they said, Ron, it looks like you're all by yourself again. And I said, well, let's just soon have that, because my message is that there's, you know, it's me against the state. And, so it's a terrible way to get symbolism, but in a way, that's the way we all are when you think about the numbers. But the difference is we're dealing with ideas, and we don't have to deal with 51% of the population. Most people are followers. Congress eventually will follow when we become the dominant philosophy of the country, and everybody is desperately looking for some answers for the crisis and the problems that have been created by the illusion of Keynesian and socialist economics. So, and they're looking more carefully all the time. The other delight about coming into politics from our viewpoint is that, you know, typically if you're a conventional conservative Republican, you know, you get a lot of interviews on Fox News Network, you know. But if you come at it from a free market viewpoint and an Austrian viewpoint, all of a sudden, you know, occasionally on some of the liberal stations, there'll be good civil libertarians and they'll understand foreign policy. And instead of, since the campaign was over, instead of being excluded from Fox, I was excluded, of course, during the campaign and given a lot of grief. But now, I think it's been over 50 times since I've been interviewed on Fox on economic issues since the campaign. But the more liberal stations, some of them wouldn't dare want to talk to me because their agenda is Democratic Party politics, and they're not for liberty, they're just for Democratic Party politics and big government. But even on those stations, you will have a few on there that are very honest people. Now, the one individual that I never had heard of, and that shows my shortcomings, before the campaign I had heard of him but never watched the program, and that was Jon Stewart. But that guy is pretty fascinating. I've come to respect him. I see he's most likely comes from the left, but he's an honest person. And when the left really messes up, he loves to go and get them. And those are the kind of people, and therefore it is not unusual to see somebody like a Jon Stewart befriend us, all of us through me, by, I don't know, I've been on a show, I know at least twice, maybe 3 times. So those kind of shows we get onto, they're considered liberal shows. But the delightful message here is that we do approach all spectrums, and that means this can be a true movement, a true revolutionary change, and we should be very optimistic about what we see so far. The question of the Tea Parties come up. I believe it was during the campaign, the presidential campaign, that somebody during the campaign, it wasn't always our astute central organization occurred. I mean, we ran a campaign because there was an excitement out there and there was a lot of spontaneity